Hey everyone! Today we are playing a Legacy Constructed League with the Epic Storm, but in front of us we have a very spicy version of the Epic Storm. So, there's a lot of things going on here. So the first thing is no Rite of Flame. Instead we're trying out 4 Mox Opal. But 16 artifacts is just a little bit slim on the number to turn on Metalcraft. So we're going to try 3 Hope of Girper, bringing you up to about 32%. So that gives you 19 artifacts in your 60 card deck. Hopefully that's enough. I haven't really done the math on this. Someone smarter than me should do that, but this is just a concept at the moment. So we're running main deck Hope of Girper to help out with these Mox Opals. That allowed us to shave a land. And we shaved 1 Thoughtseize. So I'm not really convinced on all of the numbers yet. This is just something I'm trying. But main deck Hope of Girper is very similar to the early days of the Epic Storm where we used to play main deck Xanded Swarm. So you still have 2 copies of Dress, 4 Thoughtseize. You actually have more protection than you did before. And in the sideboard, Diminishing Returns, an old favorite, is back. Without Rite of Flame, Past in Flames isn't too good in here. So we're going to try Diminishing Returns, which you can protect with Hope of Girper by attacking them, casting returns. They can't cast anything. Even on their turn, they can't cast anything, so it makes Diminishing Returns a lot better. We're back up to 5 bounce spells in the sideboard. The last list I was playing with that had Massacre on the board shaved down to 1 Chain of Vapor, so moving the Hopes allowed the extra Chain of Vapor to come back. 3 copies of Empties. Once again, with the Hopes in the main deck, we have a little bit more sideboard space, and now we even have enough room for a Wishable Discard spell, so this is what we're trying. I don't know how good it is. I've never played anything like this before, but top 8ing the online PTQ the other day gave me like 130 ticks, so that was enough to buy Mox Opal. So we're going to try this. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I just haven't had access to 4 Opal, so here we are. I hope we crush, because I think that this concept could be very, very good. I've been trying out a lot of different things recently because I haven't been happy with the flex spot in the traditional list. So while we're waiting for our opponent, this is what I've been running. The last few days I've been testing a main deck Chain of Vapor. I've tested 2 Ad Nauseams and a Mizzix Mastery over the Past in Flames. So turn this Chain of Vapor into an Ad Nauseam, turn Past in Flames into a Mizzix Mastery. I've tested that. I've also just tested 2 main deck Empty. I'm not a big fan of it. I've just found that it makes your Ad Nauseams not very good, and it seems like there's a lot of matchups recently where Empty isn't good, at least game 1. So like the new Grixis Phoenix decks, lands, Turbo Depths, it just seems like there's a lot, and I wasn't really happy with the 2 Empties. On top of it being not great with Ad Nauseam, I just felt like there wasn't enough matches where I was like, this is what I want to be doing. But anyway, enough of me blabbering. Looks like we have a round 1 opponent. Spudface. I've never faced this person before. Alright, this hand probably isn't good enough. I think we're gonna have to ship this. Alright. Looks like Mono Black Reanimator. So we're going to take this Entomb and then play out these. Effectively turning off their Thoughtseize. Alright, so now we're just an Infernal Tutor away from killing them. What's nice is this Opal could tap for blue, so we still have this fetch for a cantrip. How lucky are we? Wow. Hold control. For what it's worth, if you want to do this, most instances you'd want to tap the opal first. But we have 4 artifacts, so it's okay. And this is going to be nutty. I've never played a list with this many zeros in it before. My record for drawing cards off ad nauseum is 33. I think that this list has the potential of beating it. Would have liked to see more zeros, though. That wasn't very good. So there's no reason of risking killing ourselves here. So we're probably just going to play out some stuff and pass the turn. Oh, we get a land drop. Didn't even realize. Alright. So we're going to go fall down to 1 and kill our opponent. That was pretty sweet. We were very fortunate to draw the Infernal Tutor right on time. So our opponent's at 18. We're just going to grab this Tendrils and finish him off. Sweet. Alright, Mono Black Reanimator, Hope of Gearper is not going to be that good. Instead, let's bring in these. It does mess with our artifact count a little bit, but it's just a risk we have to take. We'll board in 1 Echoing Truth. A list such as this one is a little bit weaker to cards like Null Rod or Stony Silence or even Chalice on 0. This hand seems fine. Took the Echoing Truth. It's interesting. Alright, so we're going to search up C here and cast Thoughtseize. Get that trash out of here. Alright, so our opponent's hoping that we Brainstorm Lock, which could happen. We did just cut a fetch land. Alright, so... I think I'm going to put the Mox... Or actually, I'll put Thoughtseize on top. I'd rather have Mox. Next turn we can Ponder Shuffle. I'd rather not burn a card right now. We're not under any pressure, so there's no reason to just throw away a card. And we'll shuffle this. I think I'm going to put back these. Good thing we have this. So the Burning Wish here could actually get diminishing returns. Alright, so we still know both cards in our opponent's hand. We're not going to cast the returns this turn. Should we just get ad nauseum or petition though? So if we get petition, we can ritual, tap 2. We get ad nauseum with no mana floating, or we can returns with a ton of mana floating. Our opponent doesn't have anything going on. I think I'd rather get the petition. Just in case this way, if we fail, our opponent doesn't get to crush us. We'll have all 6 tappable lands in play against your animator. How often does that happen? Chain of Vapor is even better in a list with all these opals in it to pair with the Chromoxes. We'll stop at 1. We've yet to reveal a Mox Opal to an ad nauseum, though. What a shame. Oh, I tap for blue. We'll ponder then. Why not? Massacre Worm. Now we'll grab Tendrils. Alright, 1-0. I mean, our win was over a deck that I wouldn't really consider to be that great. But it looks like we have a round 2 opponent already. Eel landed himself. How lucky. 2 reanimator players in a row. We are on the draw. This hand's fine. He's casting Unmask on us. So I'm pretty sure this is a bait into getting us to Thoughtseize him, so I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to cast Ponder. This works. As long as he doesn't put a Chancellor into play this turn, we'll be okay. Alright, and now we cast Ad Nauseam. So out comes the Hope of Ghirapur and the Empty, and we'll bring in these, as well as an Echoing Truth, and that should do. This hand has turn 1 potential, so we're going to keep it. And Eric's mulligan down to 4 cards, so this isn't good for him. And there's our turn 1. Get bad lands, why not? We're a bad deck, we should be playing bad lands, right? Hey, our first Mox Opal. And that's a Burning Wish, so that should do it. Sweet. I've definitely faced this person before, but it's been a while, so I don't know if it's been since the Deathrite ban or not. Apparently I have not. I want to say they play blue decks. Alurin and Infect. Don't really know how I feel about this. think we should probably mulligan. This is better. Alright, so now what we want to see is a dark ritual, an opal, a lotus petal, or a lion's eye diamond off the scry. Not a land. That does not get us a turn 1 empty. Ah, they're on the new Phoenix deck. Okay. So we're just going to pass now. If they hit a daze on top, this is going to be pretty bad for us. Actually, daze doesn't matter. For some reason, I was thinking about last turn. So you could actually cast diminishing returns here, but I think an empty for 12 will probably do it. Looks like we might get outraced by triple Arc-like Phoenix. They're targeting themselves, so they're probably naming Phoenix with that. Okay, so no, what is it called? Buried Alive. So Thoughtseize is going to be pretty good now. Hopefully our opponent doesn't cast the Thoughtseize, and then we draw Dark Ritual. Alright, so they're going to attack Cabal Therapy. Or maybe not, because they won't get the Phoenix back this turn. I could be wrong. Okay. It's looking like it's going to be a close one. So what we want to do is draw a red source followed by like a Burning Wish. I think our opponent just realized that the Phoenix is not coming back, because they didn't need to do that. So now they're going to block 2, take 5, go down to 4. So we need our opponent to not draw like a Brainstorm or a Ponder or Preordain. We need them to draw a creature or a land. I guess a Forcible would also do. Or a Daze. Cool. 12 goblins squeak their way through. I haven't made a deck for this in my spreadsheet yet, so I've been listing it as Rogue. I might end up giving it a category at some point. Because it probably deserves one. Okay, so Hope of Ghirapur isn't really good against all the discard spells. I think I'd rather have a Duress and a couple empties. I actually also like Echoing Truth in this matchup. Maybe I'll just bring in 2 Truth. Yeah, I think I like this. Echoing Truth bounces Young Pyromancer tokens, as well as a horde of Phoenixes. We're going to keep this hand. I hope they name something we don't have. That would be great. Boo. That sucked. These are fine. I think I'm going to keep this. No reason to play out the Opal or the Petal yet. It doesn't gain us anything. Looks like there's another discard spell following up. Hopefully they take the duress instead of the brainstorm, but they did not. I don't think we're going to want the Thoughtseize on top, so I'm going to fetch. And then we're just going to play these out because we don't want our opponent casting a cantrip, flashing back therapy, and hitting. And that's what would have happened. So at least this way with the Cabal Therapy, they have to guess the right card. I think this game would have been very different if they had missed off the initial Cabal Therapy. I think I'm just going to grape shot their team here. It sucks that we're sacrificing the pedal, but we need to slow them down. Alright, another Burning Wish. So we're probably going to get ad nauseum with this. We're going to need to draw a mana source, and for them to not draw a creature to flashback therapy, or just another discard spell. Unfortunately, the Mox does not do it. And they chose to not shuffle off their Ponder. This might be a hardcast Phoenix. Wow, they're giving us a window. Okay. The one card in their hand cannot be Daze if we want to win this. Alright, so the Lotus Petal and the Diamond make it so our opals turn on now. Revealed 2 Echoing Truths in a row. Alright, we still have an empty in our deck, so I'm going to stop here. Alright, so this is going to be kind of cool. We can cast this diamond. Tap this for a blue. And we have not played a land yet. So I'm going to play my land. Cast Brainstorm. Which found a Burning Wish, so that should be good enough. We'll put back our last, or one of our last lands that we can fetch for. Then we'll search up the bad lands. And with the Mox Opals, what you can do is you can cast another and then sacrifice the one that's tapped. So you choose the one that you keep on Moto, and then you can tap that. I guess we could have lost if our opponent surgicaled, so I'm just going to cast this now. We'll grab Tendrils. I don't know what our opponent wants us to be respecting here. So something kind of cool here is that you could cast Echoing Truth and return all 4 of your Moxes. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to end the match. Alright, so now we are 3-0. So far the list seems okay. Like I said, I don't think that this list is perfect, but I do think that it has potential, and that's the biggest thing, is you don't find things out without trying them. So I think Mox Opal is secretly like a card that was printed for Storm that Storm players are just ignoring. So here we are, we're trying it out. I think it has the potential of being very, very good, as I said. One thing that could be true is maybe if we're running the main deck Hopes, we should just cut Duresses and then turn these 2 Duresses into like Preordains or something, so we're a little bit more consistent instead of having just all this mana and discard. But it's going to take time to figure this out. I could use some help testing it. So if you have some free time, try this out. Let me know what you think. Alright, round 4. Bozo. I don't think I've ever faced this person. We're on the draw. It looks like they play a ton of different decks. I think I like keeping this hand due to the Ritual land ad nauseum. We also have a Thoughtseize. I think it's a little ridiculous to mulligan this hand. Ancient Tomb. That's not good. Well, we do have Burning Wish in this, so what we need to do is draw another land so we can cast Pulverize. Alright, step 1. Turns out they're on Dragon Stompy. I think we're going to need our black source, so I'm going to grab Swamp here. We're going to have to draw another land. And there it is. Alright, so we want to avoid like a Trinisphere this turn. That would be really bad for us. I think we're okay with most other cards. Yeah, Legion Warboss, not going to be good enough, my dude. And now we just get to jam. Little does our opponent know our hand is fairly stacked. This has not been a real Hope of Gear per league. We'll stop. We don't need to keep going. I will tap this for red, and we'll cast another Mox Opal. We'll keep this one, tap this one for red. And let's just finish it. I don't need a Showboat. Pulverize, very, very strong. So far, the Mox Opals seem pretty good. I'm not convinced about the main deck Hope of Gearpers yet. That was a turn 3 kill through a Chalice on 1 and a Magus of the Moon. Pretty goddamn good. So now we're going to board in all of that bounce. Currently sitting at 63 cards. On the draw, Duress probably isn't that good. I think I'd rather have Ponder over Duress. We'll try this out. I don't know how I feel about this hand. It doesn't really do anything. Like, you're relying on Brainstorm just fixing all of your issues. But it does have an Echoing Truth for a Chalice on 1. You can Chain of Vapor a Chalice on 0. This is a really tough decision. I'm going to keep it. I think this hand might be a mulligan, but I just want to keep it just to see how it plays out for future reference. Okay. We need to imprint a blue card here, so I'm going to imprint the chain. I'm going to play this out just to avoid Chalice. But I like our setup as of right now. And there's a rabble. Tutor doesn't do us a whole lot of good with this hand, so I'm going to shuffle. That's going to hurt. So we need to brainstorm into a miracle. Okay, so what we can do is we can pass, and then Echoing Truth or Goblin tokens, so that way we'll only take 4, dropping down to 7. Okay, that's going to seal us in, so I'm just going to concede. In hindsight, that hand probably would have... We probably would have done better off a mulligan, but who knows. On the play... I think I'd rather have duress. Let's do it. Pretty good hand. And our opponent's mulliganed. Play out the Mox to avoid Chalice, but we're going to pass. We could just pedal Brainstorm, but the only way we're really doing anything is if we hit LED, so I'd rather just set up for a turn 2. Okay. Rabble Master is fine. Hopefully we can kill them now. And that'll do, Peg. That'll do. Alright. That's good news. And we'll stop at 2. Cool. That puts us at 4-0 with an experimental list. Just winning on our opponent. An opponent, I should say. We're about to play for 5-0. So far, we've faced Reanimator twice. Dragon Stompy and Grixis Phoenix. All right, let's see if we can do it. I have no idea who our opponent is. But we are on the draw again. This hand is probably fine. Miracles, okay. Our hopes will actually be useful. See if we can nab a counterbalance or something. Okay. So we don't need the land as of right now. We could empty, but we just lose to a brainstorm if that's the case. So I'd rather put those on top and then cast Burning Wish this turn, getting a duress. And they forced our Snapcaster. Or forced our Burning Wish. That's good news for us. So now they have Delta Terminus in hand. We have another Burning Wish on top of our deck. And our opponent is F6. Let's start seeing some zeros. Okay, so we can't kill our opponent, but we can play a Hope of Girapur and then try to go off next turn. I think the C's right because we can still fetch for Volcanic with this. It's a shame our Ad Nauseam didn't kill them. Don't need the empty, so we're going to put that back. We know our opponent has no hand, but we're playing it for Storm Count. Now we're going to hold control. Easy does it. Alright, that was pretty sweet. So, we're effectively pre-boarded for Miracles. You could board in the sideboard Duress, but I actually like it there, so I'm just not going to board. This hand is sweet. Just need to draw another artifact or a mana source. Leyline of Sanctity. That's interesting. I think we're just going to discard this Duress here. I'm still fine with keeping this hand despite not drawing a land. I think this hand has a lot of potential. Okay. So we're just going to pass with the hope to see if they like Swords It or cast Terminus. If they Terminus here, that's actually really good news for us. And they took empty. Not too shocked with that. That's interesting. They must have a Forcible in their hand if they're willing to tap out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast this Burning Wish. Interesting. I didn't expect that to resolve. Our opponent's in a really good spot. Infinite copies of Spell Pierce. Okay, we're probably not winning this one now. I'm just going to pack this one in. We'll go to game 3. So, due to the ley line, I kind of want to bring in a couple copies of Chain of Vapor. We'll probably shave an opal and a chrome. This hand is very good. Alright, so our opponent would have to have Force of Will here to stop us. So we're just going to go for it. We can't sacrifice the Hope because of the ley line. So this is a situation which Xanadorn would actually be better. Okay, that was a little strange. I'm just going to play out this Lying Side Diamond so they don't surgical. So our goal here is to cast Ad Nauseam, and then Chain of Vapor the ley line, and then kill them. So our opponent didn't shuffle again, which probably means that they have counterspells in their hand. So we've seen 2 copies of Spell Pierce. They used 1 Force of Will. And they exiled the Snapcaster. They could also have Flusterstorm or Counterspell. It could also just be Jace and like Click and Mentor. So I don't know if this position actually gets any better. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable if we had 1 more land. I don't know what the right play is here. We're going for it. Okay, so this actually worked out somewhat well because we can pay for all of the copies of Fluster and just get Ad Nauseam. I don't think our opponent played this to the best of their ability. We could also just get Empty here. And then a Ritual off the top would create an OK clock. I think I want to get Empty. Alright, so they're down to 1 card in hand. Ten more turns of Hope Agirper. Alright, we're going to cast this Brainstorm. I'm really hoping for no Snapcaster or Fluster here. Come on, please no Supreme Verdict. Gotta grab another empty. We want like cantrip into a ritual here. Step 1. I don't know which one's better for taking, the Lotus Petal or the Ritual. So if we take Petal, it's effectively the same thing, except we couldn't pay for like Flusterstorm, but I imagine they would just Flusterstorm the Ritual. Alright. So next turn we can go Petal empty. So a land Snapcaster Verdict would do here. We have to be pretty lucky in order to win this. The Brainstorm isn't good for us. So, assuming that these don't get Terminused. Okay. So that actually changes things. So, I was going to Chain of Vapor the Teferi. I don't know if I want to now. Because then they could just sack a land. So, I'm going to hold the chain. So we're going to attack our opponent and try to put them down to 2. Nope, undo. Yep. We're in trouble. think we need to bounce the Teferi. I know that our opponent can recast it, but it's a full turn off for them. And they forced it. Wow. We have 2 Burning Wishes left, and then 2 copies of Hope of Girapur. Counterbalance might seal it. That seems strange. They didn't need to put a ritual on the bottom. But unfortunately, I think we're at the point where we're probably not coming back from this. I can't imagine that we win this game now, but it is what it is. There's a mentor on top. This is probably just a hard cast Force of Will. Yep, alright. We're going to concede to that. We're not winning. Alright, well, that was a pretty close match. We almost got to 5-0. 4-1 is still very good. Feel free to comment what you think about the list and the matches in general. Yeah, this was the league. Thank you for watching.